Welcome everyone, it's us again, and this is the Shut Your Mouth Lounge, episode 186, I believe.
That's a lot of episodes, but who is us?
Well, I don't know. All I know is that one of us is sus and needs to be killed, or whatever the fuck Among Us is about. I don't know.
I've not played Among Us, but my friends and family have, so they'll get that reference.
So yeah, I am Eddie, and Pink is also here. W is currently in the cryo chamber, so
yep.
He will be
carrying on
unavailable.
without him today.
Yeah, he's getting ready to kill Majin Buu.
Again?
Yes.
He did that like 4 seasons ago.
But yeah, but Majin Buu keeps coming back, so he needs to be killed again and again. I don't get how it works. But anyway, Pink, is anything coming out on your channel?
Probably. I don't know specifically what, but I think I have stuff coming out.
Alright.
That's a terrible answer, but that's the only answer I've got right now.
You cannot confirm nor deny the existence of content. As for me, I have nothing coming out. So as for the group channel, on Monday, we have part 8 of Star Wars 2014.
Excellent.
It is the one with the Pope.
Even better.
Then, on Tuesday, we have Street Fighter Alpha 3. That one time we like that one time I freaking showed like I don't know 4 characters as long until they lost words. So yeah, that's coming out. And then on Friday we have episode 9 of Ratchet and Clank, which is the one where we talk about languages.
Ah.
And yeah, Pink, what have you been up to this week?
What have I been up to this week? Alright, so the penultimate episode of Loki came out this week.
And it has Thanos Copter.
Yeah, Thanos Copter, yeah. They did mention that. So
they showed
it's the... Did they?
Yes, I saw it. I saw a picture.
I must have missed that. I'll have to go back and check. Oh man, that's even better. But yeah, the second final episode is out, and everything has been set up very nicely. I've really enjoyed this series thus far. It does deal with a lot of time travel, and time travel doesn't make sense, and it makes even less sense the more you think about it. But overall, this has been one of my absolute favorite series to come out of the Disney Plus thing, so I've been very happy about that. Always happy to see Tom Hiddleston on my screen. Doubly so as Loki. I think it was a very strong cast. I know a lot of the boys don't like Owen Wilson, but I thought he handled everything very well in this series. I forget the female Loki's name, the actress name, but I think she's done a very good job as well. So, up and down, I really don't have any complaints about the cast. I don't have any major complaints about the plot. Honestly, my only petty complaint is that I don't want it to end, because that means Tom Hiddleston won't be on my TV weekly every Wednesday henceforth, which is going to be sad. Not looking forward to that.
I mean, but what
is that old saying? Be happy that it happened, and not sad that it came to an end or something. I forget how that saying goes.
Don't be sad in end that be happy that it happened or something like that.
Yeah, that's a phrase. I don't English well.
Neither do I, man.
You have an excuse. I live here.
I use English more. But not more than you. I mean that I use English more than my native language, so.
Right.
Anyway. So anything aside from Loki?
Aside from Loki, I did watch and finish season 2 of My Hero Academia. I thought it was very good. I still very much enjoy it. Um, I kind of fail to remember where part 1 and 2 begins and ends. I am assuming part 1 ends at the climax of the uh what do they call that thing? The sports festival, I
Yeah,
guess.
the
I
tuning
suppose.
exams.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that's where part 1 caps off, and then part 2 delves into the whole hero killer and apprenticeship story.
Yeah, I don't remember much about the first 2 seasons because I quit after the second season ended, but
Right.
I don't remember a lot. All I remember about My Hero Academia is the whole thing in season 1 with Deku not having powers and how that inspired that does things with the characters. Then I remember the shooting exams. Then I remember Bakugo being freaking stolen, and then
Right.
there was also the guy with the hand on his face sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all I remember. Because like most of the time when I was watching My Hero Academia, I'm like, I like these side characters that they're building up. It's such a shame that they're never getting used aside from like freaking 2 filler episodes once every 7 episodes where Deku and Bakugo freaking jerk each other off.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I don't notice so much the constant use of Bakugo. I honestly feel like a lot of times I forget about him. I don't think the writing is particularly good with him because I think it's been very lazy from a creative standpoint in that he's from the get-go he has been written as the antagonist, which never felt like there was any solid or significant reason for him to be written that way outside of providing an antagonist for the protagonist.
But Bakugo is not even an antagonist though. Bakugo is the Vegeta.
Right. I don't understand that reference because I've never seen Dragon Ball, but
Right. So Vegeta in Dragon Ball was a character who was an antagonist initially and then became good. And he's not he's not really good, just better. Like he doesn't want to murder people anymore. Well, he doesn't want to genocide people, or
right.
at least. But if Goku does something that he needs to show Goku up, or at least try. And that's basically Bakugo and whatever I'm forgetting his name, but the guy with the abusive dad, the guy with the two hair colors.
Yeah, Todoroki.
Yeah, Todoroki. Yeah, both of them kind of fill that spot for Deku, where Deku freaking breaks all of his bones because, well, does he still do that by the end?
No, actually, in season 2, part 2, that he starts to gain more control over the quirk. So he's not falling apart with every punch.
But yeah, it's like Deku keeps breaking himself and then freaking winning shit. And then they're both like, okay, time to also murder everyone.
Right.
And like, I think I just have a smaller freaking, what's the word I'm looking for? Tolerance. I have a smaller tolerance for how the side characters are treated, just because I watched through all of Naruto. Well, not all of it. I watched through all of the non-filler episodes of Naruto, which is like Naruto was around like
which is only 5 episodes.
Naruto is around 800 episodes long. The whole series. I watched at least 400 of those because genuinely like 40% of the series is filler.
Oh man, that's a lot.
Someone did the maths, and it was like 46% of the series is filler.
Filler isn't so bad if there's a lot of character development, and especially if you got a large cast like My Hero does, you could actually get a lot from filler.
Yeah, filler.
But for a series like Naruto, that just sounds like, eh.
I mean, Naruto also have a big cast. Like,
do they?
Yes, there's we're introduced to all of Naruto's year mates, and even people above them and under them. So there's a lot of characters to pull from to put filler episodes on. But at least the ones that I saw, most of them, freaking, they didn't. It was just like, oh, here's Naruto's robot. Okay,
He
cool.
had a robot?
Yes, there's an episode. Or there's I don't actually know. It maybe it's. I think it's multiple episodes that were made to
Probably.
promote Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Generations, where
That sounds like a great idea.
they because the new game had a robot Naruto. They were like, okay, I guess let's make that into the series too, and it's like I don't know, like 4 or 5 episodes where Hinata and Naruto fight robot Naruto, and that's the whole thing.
That sounds that sounds great.
Yeah,
High quality.
and then that's like most of the filler of Naruto. Like, yeah, the only really
I barely remember Naruto because I quit pretty early on because I want to see the entirety of whatever season I was watching. It was just the main 3 characters and their mentor in the woods fighting some big sword guy for multiple episodes on end. And I was like, I don't like any of these characters. They're all little shits, so I hope they die, and I'm done with this.
What clothes were they wearing, Pink? I can tell you off of that. If you remember.
I do not remember. I know Naruto wears an orange jumpsuit.
But yeah,
I think the blue guy wore a blue jumpsuit.
But was the orange jumpsuit orange and blue or orange and black?
I think it was blue, but I'm not certain. I know it was probably season 1.
But there's no season. There's no seasons to Naruto. There's parts.
Oh.
Yeah, there's part 1 and part 2, which is like that's a JoJo thing, I think, or at least it's a manga adaptation thing where they don't really use like seasons per se for the actual like seasons of the show. It's parts adapting different parts of the manga and freaking time skips. Basically, there's a lot of shonen series with time skips, so people are just like, fuck this. Everything that happens before this time is one season, and then anything that happens after this time is another. So yeah, it was probably part 1 then, because part 2 is Shippuden. But like big sword dude could have been Zabuza, who is the first guy they fight on at like episode 26 or something, or it could have been
probably.
Like. Was the big sword guy like? Was he wrapped around the face?
Was he? I think so.
Then yeah, that's literally the first fight they have.
Yep, and that's where I quit.
I mean, you are fucking hell. I can't speak, but you don't need to go too much farther because the series starts going down here after the Chunin exams, and that's well, I mean that is most of part 1, but. You know, that's, I don't know, like 80 episodes out of 800.
Right.
So, and like, the thing with Naruto's quality, I think, is, in My Hero Academia, you know, there's the whole, like, little arc where the villains steal Bakugo and they're like, join us.
Yeah, they just stole him in the last episode I watched.
Ah, so that was part of season 3. Shit.
Yeah.
Apparently, I watched parts of season 3 too as well. But yeah, that's that whole thing is all of Shippuden. Like the last, I don't know, like 20 to 30 episodes of part 1 set that up and like start that, and then the next 500 episodes are just that. 500.
That's some dedication.
It took 7 years, Pink.
Oh my goodness!
It took 7 years of weekly releasing the manga and the freaking the show for Sasuke to actually come back finally.
That's crazy.
And like shit, a lot of shit happened in those 5 years. Like Sasuke became a fucking war criminal and stuff like that. But you know,
war crimes.
Yeah. Naruto, like, Super Eye Patch Wolf, who is a friend of the Super Best Friends, or at least was, I don't fucking know anymore. But he put it the best, but he said that Naruto is a series where if you watched it when you were little, then it's worth it to actually finish the show, because there's a lot of like, they do have some good story elements every like 100 episodes, but Naruto is not a series that you recommend to people, because Naruto fucking sucks. By the way, Pink, where are you watching My Hero Academia?
We own it on a platform called Voodoo.
Ah, I don't remember if Voodoo has JoJo's, but
I don't know.
you might want to look into JoJo, just because like a lot of JoJo is just referencing all like 80s rock groups and stuff like that.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before, and I've definitely seen some or heard of some references.
Yeah, that's a thing where like I'd recommend checking out the first 3 seasons or first 3 parts. That because the first 3 parts are actually 3 seasons, like you'd imagine, but actually, season 1 is part 1 and 2, and then seasons 2 and 3 are part 3. I don't get it.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, like, but I guess part 3 was very long, but I mean, every single part is longer than the last one, so yeah. But yeah, like season 1, or part 1 rather, part 1 is not the best, but it sets up a lot of world building, so I think it's worth it to freaking watch it for that. Part 2 is good. The only bad part of part 2 is that one of the not completely antagonistic characters is a Nazi, but yeah. Otherwise, the main character is just Spider-Man, more or less. And then part 3 is where they switch over from it being a traditional martial arts anime, and more into the punch ghosts that the series will later become. So yeah, like the thing is, like, part 2 has a I don't know if I call him a sympathetic Nazi. I haven't watched the freaking series recently enough to remember if he's supposed to be sympathetic or not. I don't think he is. I mean, he fucking genocides a whole Mexican village, so probably not.
Probably not. I mean, the typical rule with Nazis in fiction is that those are the villains that you don't want to make sympathetic.
Well, yes,
like,
but at the same time, you have to remember this is Japan, and Japan. All Japan knows about Adolf Hitler is that he's very well known in Europe. So,
yeah, I don't know how they work with that. That's a good point. There's a big cultural difference between Japan and America.
But yeah, so like that part 3 is actually worse about things, in my opinion, because part 3 has both rape ape and just a straight up normal pedo. So
Ew.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are antagonistic. Like they are among the list of people that the protagonists kill. So, at least that's better, I guess.
True.
But I could have done it without rape ape,
Yeah.
But yeah, like JoJo's is good if you can get down with the style. If it's too gay, then you won't like the series. I mean, that genuinely can't put it in any other way, but that's partially because everyone fucking insists that the series is very gay, which I can't tell. So, yeah, there's not many anime recommendations I could make for you, because like you don't like Fullmetal Alchemist, and you've already told me that, and that's one of the better ones that I've watched.
Yeah.
I don't know if Solitude would be up your alley, because it's like a lot of it is just the stylization of everything in the world that's good about it, and also the English dub is bad.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean it's not horrible, but there's certain characters where they lose their charm in the English dub, in my opinion. And then, like, I don't even know what else I watched, because like I could recommend Lovely Complex, but I doubt that you are really into freaking like romantic comedies.
I don't know. It's possible.
Lovely Complex was
my eldest sister. She was into Fruits Basket, which is kind of along that same line, and I like that one enough.
Then I guess you mean like Lovely Complex. I don't know. It
Yeah,
was
I don't know.
it was the first good anime rom-com from what I hear. So
Eh,
I mean, it was good enough for me to watch it. So hey, but then like
yeah.
at the
How
same time,
bad could it possibly be?
at the same time, I also watched Killary. Killary is bad.
Oh no.
Yeah, I watched Killary because it came on before Inuyasha. So I was just like, you know what, whatever. I'll watch the freaking I'll watch the girly idol anime about freaking cat singer girl. Why not? And look what I ended up. Anyway, yeah, this is when I remember that, like, yes, I'm the biggest weep out of the three of us. I haven't watched anime in, like, I haven't watched a lot, like most new anime in 7 years.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah, like
Almost as many as it took Sasuke to come back in Naruto.
yeah. So like I can talk about like the big three. I can, yeah, depending on your definition of the big three, I guess I can talk about One Piece because they never broadcasted it over here. But like I can talk about the older mid 2000s stuff. But like I disliked most of that even back then, and then the waifu culture just took over took over anime as a whole, seemingly.
Yeah.
And I am very much not into the waifu culture, so I don't have a lot of things to watch usually. I mean, it took me 7, no, I don't remember how many months it took me, but like it took me a while to even check out Beastars, and I mean Beastars was good. I don't know if I'd recommend that to you because it's like it's very slice of life, but yeah.
I've not actually seen it. I've seen reviews of it, and I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I don't know if I'd be comfortable with it. A lot of the content seems like it's stuff that is kind of not up my alley, like at all. But
Too furry for you?
I don't know. I can respect some storytelling aspects of it.
Yeah, the people do play up the like freaking the horny aspects of it though. I have to say that.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard a lot about that. Hang on a second.
All right, I'm all alone because as we all know, I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known, and I don't know where it goes, but it's only me, and I'm all alone. I expected to be back by now. All right, whatever. I'll just carry the podcast on my back. I guess. I don't know. I am a good presenter, y'all. All right. Now that the scheduled fucking silence has waned.
Don't worry, I'm back. I'm back.
All right.
But I forgot where we left off. What do I have to add?
I don't know. So whatever. So you watched Loki and My Hero Academia. Have you done anything else?
This is true. Have I done anything else? Not that I'm aware of. Those are the two big things that I did this week. So I think I'm good to pass it off now.
All right. Well, as for me, I posted about this on the Discord, but you know when I started my week, I didn't think I'd be bored twice. But at least now I can confirm I am not into war.
Yeah, that's the feet and vor. Those are the two things that I
there's
just
many things.
don't.
There's many things I can list out that neither of us will understand. Being like, I don't think either of us understands inflation.
I'm sure that's true, but those are the big two things that I see a lot of everywhere, and it's like I don't get it. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me want to turn around and run the opposite direction of where I came from. So, not my thing.
I have avoided war for all this time. And I'm just playing fucking Okami. And there's not one but 2 instances of war in just that game. Holy shit. That it sure was an experience. But yeah. I
On
also,
one hand, I want to ask what happened, but on the other hand, I don't really think I want to know. I think I'm
I
good.
mean,
Ignorance is
thankfully,
bliss, as they say.
thankfully, Okami didn't go fully on the war porn, or not the porn aspect of war, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I think it would be enough that people who are into that shit would get horny, but not enough to like it's
And I just don't understand how.
me neither.
What is the appeal? It's weird.
Like, okay, we just fucking talked about Beastars, but I have to bring it up because it's the only reasoning that I could come up with. Because in Beastars, as you know, or as you probably know if you read reviews and shit, the whole thing
Right.
is that the wolf is in love with the rabbit, and it's weird.
Right.
But there's this part where the rabbit is like, all right, let's have sex, and then nothing happens. But freaking getting prepared for it, her body just like her instincts take over, and she just tries to get warred by the wolf, and then and she's like, and then she's like, oh shit, I just the freaking my oh, what's the word, like because she's lower on the food chain, her brain just like defaulted to being eaten.
I see.
And that's the only reasoning I can come up with, because like otherwise war makes no sense to me. Like I guess some people really are just born with the freaking desire to die that much.
The threshold between death and sexual pleasure is remarkably thin with those things, I suppose.
Yeah. But like that's the only thing I could come up with, because otherwise I have no clue. Like even I saw a post by a guy who was like freaking like it was just like a close up of like a drawing of a mouth, and they're like,
right,
and they're like freaking they're like, I'm trying to make normal art, and then the fact that I'm in the work keeps showing through, and I couldn't fucking tell a thing. It was just a very like it was just a detailed mouth, and I nicely rendered detailed mouth. Like I guess that is the best way to freaking to see people's fetishes, because they will be super detailed. But like I don't
right.
like if he didn't point it out, I wouldn't have freaking figured it out. Ah, shit. So yeah, I also finished Okami,
Very nice.
and it's a lot shorter than I thought it would be. Like if the first time around I stopped when the main conflict seems to be resolved, and there's like 6 more hours of the game, making the game be like 20 hours long. So you know it's not the longest game in existence.
Right.
And it was all right. There were a lot of fucking hell. There were a lot of like folklore callbacks, which I picked up on just because I used to read a lot of Japanese mythology and shit like that. And there's one thing that I found funny in hindsight, because every time there's like a big titty woman on screen, Amaterasu starts freaking Julian. And I'm like, I mean that like this game came out in 2006. Did they just forget that Amaterasu is female, or what's going on?
That's a good question.
Like, you know, or is she actually supposed to be like bi, or straight up lesbian or whatever?
Right.
And then I remembered that's fucking canon. Like in if I remember correctly, there is one mythological story in, like, I don't know if probably Shintoism, considering that that's where they came from, the freaking those kami. But there's this story where Susanoo offends Amaterasu, and Amaterasu locks herself in a cave, and they spend months trying to get her out. And the thing that finally gets her to come out of the cave is after a while they just call the goddess of partying, and she starts stripteasing in front of the cave, and that's why Amaterasu comes out of the cave. So that's fucking canon.
I like it. Yeah, relatable.
I mean, not for me, but you know, like they, it is supported by mythological stuff, so I'll allow it.
That's a cool detail to add if that was intentional, but
Yeah.
it might not have been. You don't know. They could have just been pervs.
Yeah. Like, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that it was intentional, but who knows? It was in the mid 2000s.
Right. Right.
So I did that. And then what else did I do? Well, I did draw a lot.
Well, that was probably my fault. We were supposed to draw, and then that didn't happen.
I mean, I forget when it was, like which day. I think it may have been Monday, but like I was up until 4 a.m. and I was just like, you know what, whatever. I'm just gonna draw until I get tired. So then I did that. Then I woke up and then I continued drawing for the whole day after. And then the reason I stopped drawing was because because of freaking dysgraphia. The way I handle pens is very stiff and stiff enough apparently stiff enough that if I handle a pen for a very long amount of time without breaks, I just hurt my hand. So the reason I stopped drawing was because whenever I try to freaking draw any lines, my pinky finger would just be like, no, stop.
Yeah. Yep, that's definitely something that happens, even to the best of us. I've been drawing for 25 years, Sonny, and I still get hand cramps if I hold the pen or pencil, whatever drawing instrument, too hard for too long.
Yeah.
There have definitely been days where I've woken up the next day and I'm like, hey, my pinky and ring finger are kind of not doing so hot right now. I wonder why.
Yeah,
wait.
I just probably have a lower threshold than you because I can't not hold the pencil not hard.
Right. That, and coupled with the fact that you probably haven't been holding a pencil for as long as I have.
Yeah.
I mean, even regardless of the fact that we all do schoolwork or writing or whatnot, it's just my life I've been holding pencils for very long periods of time. So I more or less have built up a threshold for pain. I have a large pain tolerance, I suppose. My hand is more used to holding the pen for longer periods of time. So somebody who is relatively new to that won't have the same
longevity.
Their hands have adapted the same over the course of their life. So it'd kind of be like jumping into a pool with Michael Phelps and expecting to beat him across the way. It's not going to happen, and you're going to be a little bit sore once you get to the other side.
I mean, it can happen. It can happen if he's just swimming and I'm in a motorboat.
This is true. Yeah, life hacks.
Yeah,
with 2 X's.
Which I've turned off because like the freaking the smooth line, the line smoothing things that I turned off. It helped with this because you know you can just like you can just be like, all right, I want shit to go from here to there and the line will probably look fine. But without it, without it, I actually have to care. And like, yeah, just like with it, it was a lot easier to draw like very long continuous lines. What the fuck did I just say? My mind blanked. Like, yeah, it was really easy to draw long continuous lines, but that's not a thing that I can do anymore because if I try to draw like even a mid-length continuous line, it stops being a continuous line and instead starts becoming spirals.
Yeah.
It's nice. But yeah, I've been going through a bit of a thing where I'm trying to figure out my art style. I mean, I have been for basically as long as I've been drawing, but like especially now. I've just been like, I really want, like, I've been really experimenting with the brushes and the way the freaking lines are colored and shit like that, because I want to find something that looks good, but nothing does.
Yeah.
So here's the first thing that I did, which was inspired. Oh, I'm putting it into the wrong channel. Give me a sec. There we go. But yeah, so like this was inspired by a like one-off joke that we made during one of the Strider recordings. But I really the onigiri looks like a bagel, and it wasn't
It
supposed
kind of
to.
does.
But yeah, I wasn't completely satisfied with this. It could have been much better, but that's most of my art.
Ah.
Then I freaking after reading Okami, I was like, maybe I could try doing things with more of a like heavy brush thing, like a calligraphy brush look.
Right.
And I mean, it's okay, but it's not great.
Yeah.
And then this next one, I like the idea, but you can tell on the quality of the line work and stuff like that. This I drew this picture while my pinky finger was protesting, and I just had to throw it together real quick, more or less. There you go. Like that could be a funny little picture eventually, but I would need to redraw it because the line work sucks.
You maybe wouldn't have to completely redraw it, just because it is digital, you could just take a bit of a thicker brush to give it more definitive outlines, and then just kind of erase all the scratched up surfaces. That
Yeah,
way
that
you
is
can
true.
smooth it out without just having to completely redraw it from scratch.
Yeah.
So, there are much easier ways to go about doing this on a digital platform. And even if it were an actual physical sheet of paper, there would still be some workarounds you could do. But yeah.
Then I also did this. This was inspired by something that W and I talked about during the next Fighting Games R podcast, which is the next outfit for Iori, which
Oh no.
yeah. That would make sense if you actually heard the jokes, but like basically,
Yeah, it makes no sense to me now, but I'm a little worried.
basically this is a reference to Team 4 Star's Dragon Ball Abridged, because there's a part where in their dub, Vegeta, like there's a part where Vegeta has a mustache in DBZ, and then also wears a pink shirt that says Batman on it, and they edited it in their abridged series to say "Come Dumpster." And Iori is pretty much the Vegeta of King of Fighters, so that's pretty much the joke.
I see.
I think the fire turned out nice.
Yeah.
And like the thing I like the most out of that drawing is something that most people won't even care about, really. I don't think, but I can't write really nice. So the fact that I wrote he, which is the kanji in the fire, that also means fire. Like the kanji turned out really nice, and I like that. Then I also before. Oh yeah, fucking hell! I drew a lot this week.
Yeah.
I was really bored, so I was like, I'm just gonna make a freaking big. I tried to go for a big detail drawing, and this is what happens when I'm bored. This was supposed to have a background, but the background sucked, so I just trashed it. And then before, where is it? There it is. So yeah, before the one where my tent gave up, I also found another I found a brush that looked like markers, more or less, like the way it colored and shit, like was like real markers, so or close to real markers.
Yeah.
So I also did this. It's not good, but it's okay.
I love it.
Yeah, I try. I don't even know what my proportions are anymore. I mean, obviously, I tried to go for a chibi thing with that, but like overall, I don't know what my proportions are anymore. And then I also made Doof.
Doof. I love the bunny slippers.
Yeah. He looks very scary. Like sometimes I'm like sometimes I just start doing detail work on the faces, and I'm just keep adding shit, and then I zoom out and I'm like, oh, I went too hard.
Too much.
Yeah.
Go back.
But I don't know. I think it works for this drawing just because of the contrast of the very detailed face and the fucking anime hair.
Yes.
Like he looks horrible. Did I do anything else? I don't remember. I may have, but I don't know. So whatever. That Sonic drawing took me 3 days to make. By the way, just the foreground like that. I spent another 2 on the freaking on the background, but once again, that was trashed because it wasn't good. Did I do anything else of interest? I don't know, so whatever.
All right.
I will not ask up what he did this week.
We don't care what you did this week, Alex. Screw you. You're not even here.
And yeah, I believe we can call it a podcast then.
All right.
So yeah. See y'all next week. And for a second I actually forgot if we do these weekly or not. And I was like, wait, is the next one coming out faster? Oh no. Anyway, bye.